feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, good afternoon if you're in Australia. Good evening if you're in America. It's nice to be back. Nice to be back again. Let me check my. Yep, my microphone is fine. Good to see you all. Good to see you. Very busy day today. We've had a bunch of updates for a whole heap of cases. I just got out of watching the Jody Hill trial. Today we had a fingerprint expert from the Victoria Police Forensic Institute doing fingerprint analysis, and we had that for most of the day. Then in the afternoon session for the last hour, maybe hour and a half, we've had a blood spatter expert teaching us about how blood patterns and things like that. That's sort of what's been happening this afternoon in the Jody Hill trial. I will probably do a separate video for Jody Hill and her trial so that we can turn off the comments and things like that to abide by the law. But I'll do that later tonight. We have some updates in other cases, including Gus Lamont. That search that we heard about it the other day. They were going to go search mine shafts. Well, it ended today. It is now ended. This is like the third or fourth search out there, and they found nothing. No new evidence has been located in this renewed search effort for Gus. They were going to go out there, search for the mine shafts, and see if he was down there. I said the other day that most likely they would find nothing. And again, they have found nothing. So where do you go from here? I don't even know. They've been out there so many times for like different angles. Hey, we're going to do a ground search. Okay. We're going to do another ground search, but make it wider. Great. Oh, we're going to go back and search the dam. Okay, they did that. And then they're like, we're going to go back and search the mining, the abandoned mining shafts, and they found nothing. So it's very difficult, it's a very difficult case to talk about because what next? The police say they continue to conduct and investigate multiple lines of inquiries to find Gus. Well, so far, Gus has been missing for a very long time. I mean, if you were a child and you were really out there, let's take the police for their word, and he's really out there. There's no way he would be alive now. There's just this long, in time, almost 2 months that this child has been missing. There's one of the mine shafts that they were gonna have a look at. This one right here, so you can kind of see like it's not like one of those built-up mine shafts that you think of. It's just a hole in the ground, and it goes down. Some of them went down 20 meters, according to the police. 20 meters, they're saying. And they had to have specialized equipment brought in so they could search it. And so they could search it and nothing. So another multi-day search comes to an end for Gus, looking for him on this giant property in Yunta, and still no closer to knowing what happened to the little boy. No idea. And it's concerning. It's starting to turn into it's starting to turn into William Terrell. Like, this is sort of what happened with William Terrell. Very different circumstances, but a similar type of missing child. there was all this activity. They searched for him a number of times, and then it slowly just became a cold case. And I worry that's what's going to happen here, is that it's going to become a cold case, and we're going to be still talking about this in 3 years' time, going, "Oh, what happened to that little boy Gus Lamont that went missing on, you know, his family's property?" I worry that's where we're going. Um, I'm not. I heard that they were supposed to be doing something like that, but I haven't heard whether it did anything. Um, Montana says raises a lot of questions that he can't be located. I agree. Marylander says like Sebastian. Yep, like Sebastian. Laurie says Trish is talking about gorillas. That's what she's doing on Thanksgiving. She's having a date with a gorilla. And I don't mean an incredibly hairy man. I mean she's heading to the Dallas Fort Worth Zoo. And she's gonna make like a picnic. She's gonna sit down next to the glass that the gorilla can't break, and she's gonna have her Thanksgiving dinner amongst the gorillas. I heard this is breaking news, and this is exactly what she's doing on Thanksgiving. She's having her Thanksgiving dinner with the gorillas at Dallas Fort Worth Zoo. So look for her there. You might have a meet and greet with her on Thanksgiving. You might be able to catch up with her over there at the zoo. Uh so that's basically it for Gus Lamont. I wish I had more to tell you, but it's just another uh, the police, one of the things I'll tell you about it, the police coming into this particular search, they sort of gave themselves a way out at the beginning. They were like, "Oh, well, if we don't find him, that's just another thing we can cross off our list of places to search and rule out." It's almost like they knew that there was going to be nothing in these mine shafts. They already gave themselves an out, and it seems to be that's what's happened. So a sad update that we don't have more answers about what happened to this little boy and the fact that he's been missing for so long. Um, that's it though. That's all I have. No, there's no other information except for the search has now been cancelled and, well, completed, whatever word you want to use, and they're done. So they're done with that. We'll have to wait and see. I reckon in a couple more weeks we'll get another notice, and they'll be like, "We're gonna go search another thing on the property," because that's sort of the direction it's taken. They search something, a few weeks go by, they search another thing. It's yeah, it's almost like what's probably going to happen. I want to talk to you about another story. Now, it's one we've covered for a long time, and one that I tried to get into the court for it, except I got rejected. I got rejected from it. They're like, "No, we are racist against Australians. We don't want you covering this particular case." And it is the case that is on the thumbnail. Hakyung Lee, she has been found guilty. We knew that a few weeks ago at her trial, but now she has been sentenced. Now she's been sentenced to life in prison with a non-parole period of 17 years, and she will have to. I don't think she'll get out at 17, but that is the sort of non-parole period that she has. 17 years for killing her two children, stuffing them into suitcases, and then dumping them in a storage locker, and then running away from New Zealand. When she left New Zealand and the storage locker became delinquent, they sold the contents of the locker to recover the money. And and a person bought it, took the things home, went to go through them, and discovered two children's bodies inside of those suitcases, which is I don't think anyone would want to trade places with those people. That's an awful thing. I don't think anyone wants to do that deliberately. And this poor family had to witness that. after they just thought they were buying some, you know, some bits and pieces from a storage locker. Instead, they got two children's bodies. So, um, Danny said they said you were racist. No, no. I'm just saying they didn't like Australians covering the case just because they didn't want me to do it. All right, hold on. I'll show you some stuff from her sentencing today, and yeah, so she's been sentenced a non-parole period of 17 years for what they say, and now convicted that she murdered her two children. Horrific, really was, and it all seemed to stem from the death of her husband. So her husband died. He had a medical condition, and it slowly got worse, and he passed away. And she sort of went into this downward spiral. And they're saying that it played a role in her mental health, and then she took it out on her children. It's really an awful thing. But here, Justice Jeffrey Venning sentenced Lee to life in prison with a minimum non-parole period of 17 years, but ordered that she be treated as a special patient under the Criminal Procedure Mentally Impaired Persons Act. They're saying Justice Venning went through Lee's background and the timing leading up to the children's death. He said that Lee's mental health played a major role in the crime. And they're saying an updated psychiatric report has been carried out before sentencing, which indicated Lee was likely suffering from an atypical depression and prolonged grief reaction at the time of the murders. Justice Venning concluded Lee killed her children because she could not cope with the burden and responsibility of caring for them after her husband's death, and she had been influenced by her depression. And she says, Justice Venning says here, you relied heavily on him during your marriage. You could not cope when he became seriously unwell, and perhaps you could not bear to have the children around you as a constant reminder of your former happy life, which had been cruelly taken away from you. So that sounds about right. I think that's a good insight into her offending. They're saying here she gave her children orange juice that had been laced with prescription medication in mid 2018 before placing their bodies, clothed and in plastic bags, inside two suitcases. She then moved the suitcases along with her belongings into a rented storage unit in Auckland, changed her name, and left the country for South Korea. Their remains were discovered 4 years later in August of 2022, sorry, when payments to the facility lapsed and the items inside were auctioned off. And they're saying she was extradited to face trial in New Zealand and admitted to killing her children, but argued she was not guilty by reason of insanity. Well, the jury saw through that and decided that the fact that she had planned it, changed her name, got the storage locker, fled the country, that made it that she was not guilty by reason of insanity. They're saying those actions went against someone who might have done something like this because of mental impairment. And they're saying that, yeah, they don't believe her. You know, you look at the planning. She had to put the medication in the orange juice, pack them into these suitcases, rent a storage locker, change her name, flee the country. These are a multitude of steps that she needed to take. And the jury saw that this was a premeditated action. Um, they're saying here sometime in April 2018, Lee admitted to giving her children a dose of nortriptyline mixed in juice. Miss Lee said she gave the children the medication. The children drank the juice, then they became drowsy from the medication and they toddled off to their own beds and went to sleep there and then. The medication had been prescribed to Lee the previous year after she told her GP she was having trouble sleeping, They're saying here they described Lee as isolated and dependent on her husband. The Crown suggests that when she gave her two young children nortriptyline, it was a selfish act to free herself from the burden of parenting the children alone. Um, they highlight here being only 6 and 8 years old at the time that they were killed. The children's vulnerability was heightened by the fact that it was their sole surviving parent who killed them, having recently lost their father. Yeah, it's a sad case all the way through. A woman still quite young in life loses her husband to an awful illness, then decides that she can't carry on as the only parent and takes out her children. Then she runs to South Korea. So there you go. Uh, So apparently her mother described the anguish after learning what had happened to her grandchildren, and she said through an interpreter, "It felt like a pain that cut through my bones, or as if someone was gouging out my chest." How sad. And they said that apparently the mother, this is the defendant's mother, she had trouble sleeping and turned to alcohol to help. And they're saying here, she was ostracized by her church community after news broke of her daughter's actions. She says the treatment I received was unexpectedly cold. They did not welcome me, but avoided me. I was met with only glances that showed that they did not wish to speak to me. I came to the realization that among the church members, I had been labeled as the mother of a murderer. So her crimes not only affecting her children, but apparently also her mum. Here's a photo of her two young kids for you, and yeah, it's a strange thing, right? You think of church as being supporting people and being welcoming for all people, and the fact that they basically made her a pariah and pushed her away, it's it's not a nice thing that they did. I hope they hear her pain when she was looking for support. They did not give that to her. I hope they now see what awful treatment they gave to her and what it did to her. So, that mom or grandma to those children was just looking for someone to help her during a time where I bet she didn't know what was going on either, because she's just been thrown into this situation where her daughter has committed one of the most awful crimes you can think of, and even the church pushed her away. Oh my god, guys, hold on. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I'm back with you guys. We have bloody deliveries, hey? Every day. Diane said I missed the beginning. Do you still have a mouse? I don't know. I bought some mint peppermint oil, like the what do you call it? Like the strong stuff, and I'm gonna spray the outside. But I haven't heard him in a couple of days, so I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure if he's disappeared now, but haven't heard from him in a couple of days. It was sort of over the weekend he was doing it. I haven't seen him. Haven't seen him or heard from him in a day or two now, but I did buy some peppermint oil, and I will make up a solution and spray it all around the area if he comes back. Kathy says, I'd like to know what church it was. Probably a Korean church. They have Korean churches. They have them in Melbourne. I'm sure they probably have them where you live, possibly too. You may see them around your community. No, I don't think he got in. I can see there's only like a solid wall, another solid wall, and this small area, and it hasn't changed. So there's no way he could have got in. Not here anyway. Maybe it's in my neighbor's. Maybe he went to our neighbor. If that's the case, they can have him. Kim says, I think the cats would let Pink. I reckon I'd wake up one morning and there'd just be like stuff everywhere. Things destroyed, bits of mouse everywhere. Like Muffin will attack anything that comes in here. So Muffin literally walks around at night patrolling the house while we're sleeping, and he takes his job very seriously. He acts like a security guard. So Muffin would know. Yeah, so I haven't heard from him in a couple of days. Maybe he just got bored and went away. But if he does come back, we have the peppermint oil, which I've heard works really well. We looked into those electronic devices, but apparently they don't work. So we didn't want to buy something that didn't work and just buy more junk. We're trying to declutter our lives and our home and get rid of stuff that doesn't, we don't use or whatever. So we don't want to buy things that, aren't worth having. Montana says our cat used to lay the mice in a row by the door. Yours worked? Okay, well, I read in my research the peppermint oil is very, very good. And a lot of people use it, especially in America. If you live on a farm, if you have a barn, people use peppermint oil on farms to protect like machinery and things like that. Gail said, I woke up to a dead mouse on my chest. That would be a hell of a wake-up call. Hell of a wake-up call. All right, let's talk more about Hakyung Lee. Really, really awful case, and she has now been sentenced, and she'll have to spend almost 20 years in jail. It is I don't know, you tell me what you think of the punishment. 17 years, and that is the non-parole period, but she was sentenced to life. You tell me what you think. Let me take you over to stuff.co.nz.
Who killed her 2 children before putting their bodies in suitcases and fleeing overseas has been sentenced to life imprisonment. Hakyung Lee admitted being responsible for the deaths, but argued she was not guilty of murder as she was insane at the time, an argument the jury ultimately rejected. Catherine Owen reports.
Hakyung Lee spent most of her double murder trial watching from a different room at the Auckland High Court. But today she was back in front of Justice Jeffrey Venning, keeping her head down with her long hair covering her face.
On the charges of the murder of Yuna and Minu Jo, you are sentenced to life imprisonment. You are to serve a minimum non-parole period of 17 years.
Lee was convicted of killing 8-year-old Yuna and 6-year-old Minu after a 2-week trial in September, the jury taking just over 3 hours to reach their verdict.
You went about killing the children in a deliberate and calculated way and then took a number of steps to cover up your offending.
Earlier, prosecutor John Kim read out statements from Lee's mother and brother-in-law who spoke of the profound impact of Yuna and Minu's deaths.
It felt like a pain that cut through my bones, or as if someone were gouging out my chest. I wanted to be free from suffering, but I had no one to lean on.
Lee had initially denied any involvement in the 2018 deaths, but she later admitted giving her children the antidepressant drug nortriptyline to kill them. She also claimed she intended to take her own life, something the judge today rejected.
I accept the Crown's submission that the evidence supports a finding that you killed the children to avoid the burden of parenting them alone.
Yeah, really awful. And you see her in court with this very looks like dirt, very dirty, oily hair that she sort of had pushed over her face for most of this trial, and not a lot of remorse or anything. At least I've not witnessed it very much from her. And the fact that she tried to represent herself, but they end up having to give her lawyers and people to help her anyway. She had multiple people that were legal aids to her during this trial, so it sort of defeated the purpose of her representing herself. But there you go. Kathy said peppermint oil also works on ants. Thanks, Kathy, for letting me know. Oh no. Kim says one of my cats was diagnosed with feline leukemia today from getting out several years ago. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. That's awful. That's terrible. Permaculture Kiwi says we have shocking CA laws here. It should be more, in my opinion. 17 years for 2 children's lives is not very much, right? It's pretty small. I would have thought you would get much more than that. So like 17. So that's not how you do that. Yeah. So each child basically was 8.5 years in jail. And I understand that this woman was given a very uh, unfair hand in life. To lose her husband at such a young age is, I'm sure we could all relate to that and how devastating that must have been for her. But it would have been the stronger thing to reach out and ask for help than to go this way and kill the children. I mean, it's really awful to think. She went through a lot, and you can't deny her that to watch her husband waste away and then die at what we would consider a young age is indescribable, really. But then to think the right idea was to take your children out of this world as well. The one thing that your husband left for you was those children, right? It's the one thing you guys made together, and you could have put all your hope and energy into them, and instead she went the other way where she's like, I can't cope and I don't want to live this life without my husband, and decided to end it, but not her own life. And I find that very interesting. They all claim that they're going to do it themselves, right? And they never do. They never do. And I find that very interesting. They all claim they were going to. She had plenty of time. She fled New Zealand, went to South Korea, lived in South Korea for a few months. Like, she had the time, and I find that very interesting that she never did, even though in court she claimed that she was going to. When you were 85, like you can't claim that and then say that's a point in your corner that you were also going to go like your children as well. Very strange. Four Sons Mom said those electronic devices worked at my house. I had a 4,400 square foot house and put 5 throughout the house. Our backyard was 5 acres of field. Those were the only way we could keep the mice away consistently. All right, I'll have a look at them. Maybe there's a good brand and a bad brand. Gayla said she had family that could have helped. Right, her mom. Her mom seems like she loved those children and would have helped. Rachel said, where was her mom? I bet she would have helped with the children. I think her mom, let me double check. So her mom. Yeah, I think her mom lives in New Zealand too. And because she says here, she also spoke about how she wished she had acted sooner with her daughter. She deeply regrets not taking her daughter to a counselor, like a grief counselor, introduced to her by a friend. She says, I keep thinking that if I had taken her at the time, this tragedy might have been prevented. Despite it all, she said she still hoped her daughter would eventually be released from prison on parole. well, I mean, she's always going to be her mum, I guess. Apparently, Ian Joe's brother, Jimmy, was in the courtroom, but also had his statement read aloud by a lawyer, said, "This situation is something I would expect to read about in a novel or watch in a TV series. I never imagined such a profound tragedy would ever befall our family." He said he found it difficult to be be near Asian children the same age as the two kids who died. When I see them, I feel overwhelmed, as though they will ask me, "Why didn't you stop this?" He carries a heavy, agonizing guilt. He said he dared not tell his own mother about what happened for fear it would kill her. He says here, "It was my late brother's will that I protect them. This is an ongoing sentence from which I can never be paroled." And that was her husband's brother, saying that he's protecting some of the elderly in the family from the news of what happened, because he's worried it'll kill them if they find out, from the stress and um, shame as well. So he's trying to protect his brother's memory as best he can. So a lot of people profoundly hurt with her offending, and I look at that photo I had up, and you see them, and they look like such happy little kids, right? They look like they lived a fun life before their death, and they look like this little one's got a Mickey Mouse toy, and they look like they've got a lot of like fun children things around the home. Looks like there's a Nintendo Switch to the right here. So they seem like imagine what they could have done if they got older. They could have done a lot of cool things. So the grandma on the brother's side doesn't know. The grandma on the offender's side, the mum, does know. So that's what it seems like. One side of the family's elderly does know, the other side does not. Um, yeah, it's an awful story. And I remember when this happened and we covered it on the show. I don't think any of us could really believe this would all transpire in the way it did. I know we found it very strange that there were two children found in a suitcase, but I don't think we ever imagined it was going to be this, where it was this woman, her husband died. That's part of the reason she did it. It's unraveled into a story of very sad circumstances that led to offending that was even more horrific than what she originally went through. And the offender here is going to have to somehow live with this for the rest of her life, that she lost her husband and then she took her two children. Now she's in jail. She'll be an older woman. Should she get out at 17 years, she'll be an older woman. And she'll always have to know that those two children could have been here with her through the rest of her life if she didn't take the selfish option of removing them from this world. Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever really truly understand why she did it.
I reject the suggestion that after you awoke to found them dead, you again tried to kill yourself. Your actions are inconsistent with that proposition. Your actions were organised and considered and took place over a number of days.
Those actions included wrapping the bodies in 3 layers of plastic bags, putting them in suitcases sealed with duct tape, and taking them to this South Auckland storage centre. She changed her name, spent money on clothes and beauty products, sat a driver's licence before fleeing overseas on a business class ticket.
I consider it is no coincidence that you took steps to change your name earlier on the day that you killed them.
The bodies remained undiscovered for 4 years until a family bought the contents of the storage unit in an online auction. Lee was tracked down in South Korea and in 2022 was extradited to New Zealand. Lee was sentenced to life imprisonment and must spend at least 17 years before being eligible to apply for parole. The judge also ordered that she start her sentence as a special patient at a secure psychiatric facility.
The circumstances which followed from your husband's death and led to you killing your children are properly described as tragic. However, by its verdicts, the jury found you intended to kill your children, and also that while you were suffering from a depressive illness at the time, you knew that your actions were morally wrong.
A life sentence for cutting short the lives of her 2 young children.
Well, not really a life sentence. While the overhead sentence is life in prison, the bottom of that sentence is only 17 years. That's not to say she will ever get out. She could not take the steps necessary while in prison to convince the parole board that she should ever be let out. And considering the way she acted during the trial, pre-trial, evidence giving with the police, she may never be mentally capable of taking the steps necessary to get out of jail. So um, we'll see. We'll see. But very sad story. Very sad ending to that one. Gayla said Bish didn't even fly economy. Yeah, I find that strange. She tried to claim that this was all a massive, and I get it. There's an opposite side to depression where people become manic, and she could have been having a manic episode when she bought all the makeup and the beauty products and bought luxury items. She could have also thought that I'm gonna get to South Korea and end it all, and I want to spend all the money I have. You never quite know what people are thinking, but it doesn't look great, and it probably didn't look very good to the court that she basically went on a shopping spree after killing her children. It's hard to understand and hard to um, sort of make your own mind be in alignment with it and really try and break it down for people who have not done these acts. Like, I can't understand why she would do it, but I'm also not her. But yeah, very sad ending. She will go into a prison sort of protection slash medical facility for a while, and then eventually she'll be in another prison where she will probably be in protection for um, her whole time in prison. From what I've read, other prisoners have tried to attack her. They've tried to call out to her. They harass her. They call her names. All sorts of things like that. In women's prisons, women who hurt their own children or any children tend to be targeted. So it's the opposite of men's prison. Men's prison, when you hurt, well, women and children, you will be targeted by other inmates. In women's prison, if you hurt your own children, you become public enemy number one. They will be relentless. They will try and hurt you, pour boiling water on you, do anything they can to try and kill you, basically. So yeah, she'll always be targeted in her time in prison. I don't think she'll ever be allowed out into general population. It's just not possible. She'll be very much like Erin Patterson, where she has to live her life in a cell and not be allowed out unless she's got 2 prison officers with her at all times. So, same thing. All right, that is that one done. Now we have an update about the football coach. We have an update about a football coach, and then I have a update out of Michigan. If I can get to we'll do the Michigan one first. It was a search for a woman called Rebecca Park. She's unfortunately been found dead, and the discovery of her body was found by her own father. And 21-day search looking for her, and her own dad ended up finding her. Really, really sad story. I will bring you more. Give me 1 second. So there was search crews looking for her. A whole community was looking for this pregnant woman, and unfortunately, they found her deceased. So I'm just trying to load up our links for you. Yep, this one.
We came out, we went down, we drove down as far as we thought. We got out. We looked around. And this white truck came up to us again. An older gentleman and a 20-year-old, some young boy came up and said that they needed help and wanted to show me a video. And we just had them take us to whatever the video that they wanted to show us. And the son or the young boy or the 20-year-old did not want the dad to go up and asked if I could go up and see if it was a mask or if it was really somebody. And it was Rebecca.
And you knew at that moment that it was Rebecca?
Yes.
We begin with breaking news tonight. The family of a pregnant woman who was last seen more than 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I couldn't hear either, so I switched it to a different one.
Says she has been found dead. Thanks for being with Northern Michigan's news leader tonight. I'm Adam Bartlemay. Rebecca Park's father tells 9 and 10 News he found Becca just hours ago. Let's head right to the scene where state police and other law enforcement agencies have arrived. 9 and 10's Jody Meeson is live in Wexford County with the latest breaking details on how Rebecca's body was found. And Jody, this is a heartbreaking outcome. What can you tell us?
What's your name?
Adam, we're here just outside Becca Park's mom's home in Boone. The search party that included her family had told us that Becca's body was actually found by her dad and a relative about 2 miles behind her mother's house. Right now, it's not clear what the status is of her baby. Becca was 38 weeks pregnant with that baby boy when she first went missing on November 3rd. At the time, her mother had said that she had gotten into an unidentified vehicle at her house on the 3rd, and her cell phone was found nearby on a 2-track. Now, as of right now, no arrests have been made according to a press release issued earlier today, but that could change because of this tragic development. We're still waiting for an official update from the Wexford County Sheriff's Office. There is a lot of misinformation online. Now, with me, I do have Amy Letterman. Amy?
Yeah, I'll read you through some of what I know about this. So, she was reportedly found Tuesday by the search team that had been looking for her. She'd been missing for 21 days near Boone Township. And according to her father, he's the one who found her. They're saying the county sheriff's office confirmed only that a body had been found in the Mainstay National Forest, but did not identify who that body was. And that the sheriff's office said more information would be released when a positive identification and next of kin had been done. And they're saying here, Park 22 was last seen getting into a passenger side of a sedan near the mother's home on November 3rd. She had told someone she was being picked up, but the witness did not recognize the driver. They found her cell phone on a road nearby. She was 38 weeks pregnant when she disappeared, and police considered her endangered. The sheriff's office also said that it had not found any bloody clothing or other items, despite social media claims saying they had. They further claimed that misinformation from online had hindered the investigation, prompting them to limit information being provided to the media. So, yeah, who's the dad? That would be a good thing to know. Who's the baby's father? So this is in Michigan near Boone Township. So I'm going to go out to a news source out here. Oh, it's going to do that stupid thing. Oh, okay. Wants us to pay for it. How annoying. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can get this working. All right. There we go. I have ways to make that work and make those pop-ups go away. They're saying here, hours after authority announced the discovery of a body in the national forest, The county sheriff Trent Taylor and Michigan State police officials held a late evening press conference on Tuesday. During the press conference that was held, investigators were working to determine whether the deceased woman is 22-year-old Rebecca Park, who had been missing for more than 3 weeks. Taylor said the body was discovered at approximately 2:16 p.m. on Tuesday in a section of the forest near where previous searches had been conducted. Members of the public, not an organized search party, located the body. Interesting. You go to wonder, did someone put her there after they knew it had been searched before? Because that has happened before, where people have gone missing. They know where the police have searched, and then they dump the body where the police have already searched the location because they know the cops won't go back there. So they're saying here that the Michigan State Police Public Information Officer Ashley Miller emphasized that authorities cannot make any confirmation until after an autopsy. The medical examiner was still on the scene on Tuesday night, and Miller said the autopsy has not yet been scheduled for the body. They say both Taylor and Miller repeatedly stress that the case remains very active, and they declined to comment on several key questions, including the condition of the body, the clothing the woman was wearing, or how long she might have been deceased. Interesting. And they say while Taylor acknowledged that the area had previously been searched and that deer hunters had been in the vicinity, he would not speculate on whether the body may have been placed there after those earlier searches. Yep. That has happened several times in missing people cases. Interesting. And they say there's a lot of moving parts, and if the sheriff will give updates as soon as they become available. Right now, it is very active. We have a lot of detectives and department members working on this, so they've got a lot of people still at the scene. Let me see what else we can find about Rebecca Park. Give me a second. That was not what I wanted to do. All right, here. I'm going to see if we can find the press conference. Hold on. I don't seem to be able to find the press conference. Who is it? Wexford. Okay. All right, they don't seem to have a they don't seem to have a website. That's interesting. Let's see. Who's the other one? Michigan State Police. Maybe that's them. YouTube. All right, let's see if they have the live stream. Doesn't seem so. Interesting. It must have only aired on like local media or something. Yeah, like localized media, because I cannot find it for Michigan. No. All right. No, I can't find it. So that's annoying. I was hoping that we would have like a press conference we could show to you, but no. Sorry about that. But very, very sad. Yeah, like the missing French boy, Emile. Emile, they moved his body too. So if that happened here, I would not be surprised. But where is Boone Township in Michigan? Where is it? So it is sort of west of Cadillac, which is probably why the news is called Cadillac News. But yeah, sort of west of the Cadillac City. Boone is sort of on the the outskirts near Highway 115. So if you're near Highway 115 or Highway 55, it's sort of between those two places in Cadillac. So it's a very here, I'll show you guys. There's Boone. That's the outlay for the area. And there's Cadillac over here. And if we zoom out, it's there in Michigan. So it's right on the border. So right on the border of Canada. You could get to Canada in an hour or two if you wanted to. So that is Boone right there. All right, Boone Township. Yeah, there's got to be another. Okay. So, okay, guys, give me a second. So the news channel for them is actually called Up North Live. And I'm going to try go to them and see if they did the press conference earlier today. Okay. No. No, they did not. They're saying in a Tuesday night press conference, the county sheriff's office and Michigan State Police just confirmed that a body was found. It may have been one of those press conferences where they're not televised and they just do it like with a small bit of media. Here, I'll show it to you. That's they did not broadcast it live on Up North Live. And even when you go to their website, it's the one we watched before. They don't have the press conference either. So there you go. Maybe in the morning. Maybe in the morning they'll have it. But they're saying here 39 weeks pregnant. What would that make you? 39. What would 39 weeks be? They consider that full term. So she would be getting ready to give birth to the baby, right? 30 between 20. Oh, okay. So she'd be right at the end of the pregnancy, right at the end. So she's almost ready to give birth. That is very sad because we read about a story last night about another woman who's been missing for like over a year. And she went missing when she was at this point in her pregnancy too, if you remember from last night's show. So this is another lady right before she was about to give birth. Terrible, really is. I'm just going to try see if we can find another update for it. Must have been hyper local because I have not seen it covered very much. Have you guys heard this story about Rebecca Park? Maybe it was a more, I was thinking it was more localized, but because even when you search her name, the only people talking about it are a few true crime channels, but not really like national news or News Nation or anything like that. There's very few people covering it. Yeah, I can't even find you a second video for you. Can't even find it for you. So we'll have to keep an eye out. If that press conference does become available online, I will bring it to you, and I will get it for us to watch so we can hear what they have to say. But it's sounding like this late at night they're not going to upload it. Forson's mom said she could have had it any day. The baby could have survived if circumstances were different. Terrible. Rachel said she could have easily delivered a full-term baby. Yeah, who is the father? Hey, Penguin, who is the dad? That would be good to know. Baby could come and be absolutely fine. That's a question we need to know from the autopsy. Did she give birth? Because she's been missing for 21 days. Maybe she gave birth and then was killed, or maybe she died during childbirth. That's possible. It happens, unfortunately, to some ladies. Maybe she had the baby and then maybe someone freaked out and dumped her body. I mean, that's a possibility. Yeah. I mean, I don't want that to be the possibility, although I sort of do because it means the baby would be alive. I don't know. I'm not sure, but something we need confirming through the autopsy. Okay. All right. So that is that update for that one. And do we have one more? We have one more about the coach. That's right. About Travis Turner. So we spoke about this the other night. Travis Turner. We know a little bit more about why he sort of ran away or went missing. We know a little bit more now, and I'm going to grab the new information for you. Is it this one? Yep. Yeah.
Police in Western Virginia are searching for a high school football coach wanted for multiple charges of child pornography. Police say 46-year-old Travis Turner of Appalachia was last seen November 20th. Investigators went to his home in Wise County but discovered he was gone. State police have deployed search and rescue teams, drones, and canines. They say Turner is considered a fugitive. He's wanted for 5 counts of possession of child pornography and 5 counts of using a computer to solicit a minor.
Caleb Williams.
So there you go. We all know why he ran away from his team, from the game, from the area, and it's because he was at the center of a, you heard the word investigation. Even though he was twice named Coach of the Year, but yeah, he is wanted on those charges, and sounds like he knew very well what was coming. He knew what charges were likely to be filed. And they say the search for a missing high school football coach is now a manhunt after police say he is wanted on charges of soliciting a minor, possession of CSAM material. Travis Turner, 46, was deemed missing Thursday after Virginia State Police, en route to his home to interview him over these charges, learned he was no longer there. Virginia State Police announced they had obtained 10 warrants for his arrest on 5 counts of soliciting a minor using a computer, 5 counts of possession of CSAM, with more charges pending. There you go. Turner is now considered a fugitive, and they say authorities say finding him safely is still a priority. The search has included the use of drones and canine units. So he is now a fugitive, and they are going to do what they can to track him down. So what a way to let down your team that you had been coaching, and they had done so well this year too. Pretty sure they were undefeated, and to do that to them shows you're not the leader that you said you were. There's a photo of Travis Turner, and he ran into the forest. So we'll have to see whether he's alive or not. No more Coach of the Year awards. No, not for him. Four Sons Mom says, you're talking to Kim. Gail said, did you see the woman who got teacher awards? The video is her beating her son with a belt and making him stand up by pulling his hair. I haven't, but it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, can't even do the right thing. Rachel said, I hope they catch him quickly and no one is hurt. That would be a good outcome for sure. The question is, did he take a firearm with him? Anything like that? That would be something that would be good to know. Just trying to lower my videos here. Got far too many things open. All right, Travis Turner. Let's see what else we can find about him. Missing Virginia high school football coach wanted on those charges that we told you about. What else is he here? They're saying the investigation remains ongoing. Additional charges are pending for him. Sounds like he's got a a lot of things to answer for. They're saying here that the school has appointed an interim coach in Travis Turner now being a fugitive, and police declined to say Tuesday whether any victims or complaining witnesses are connected to the school that he was a coach at. Interesting. The school says the individual remains on leave and is not permitted on school property or to have contact with students. The division will continue to cooperate with law enforcement as this process moves forward. Because this is an active legal matter involving personnel, the division cannot comment further. There you go. The mystery surrounding Turner's disappearance deepened when state police disclosed Monday that agents were seeking to interview him as part of an investigation. It always seemed like for a man to run that quickly when he just gets whispers of cops coming to his home must have been something he knew he knew how bad it was and how severe it was going to be. Betsy said a rifle. Ah, okay, there you go. May not be a happy ending. Danny says Travis might have ended his day. I have a funny feeling that might be right. That might be right. I think that's probably why he ran off. Why would you do all this and then just do that? It's so stupid. It's these people don't think. Like we say in life, you don't have to be smart to commit crimes. I'm going to take you. They had an exclusive in the Daily Mail with his wife, and I wanted to have a look at it. They say the wife of a missing high school football coach wanted by police has broken her silence. She says, "I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I'm sorry." Well, that was well worth reading the article for. She definitely broke her silence by saying nothing. There's a photo of her and him. And what else do they say about her? Ah, this is when they got married. This is them when they were younger. There you go. And what else does she have to say? She said, "We are all just hanging in there until we get news." I want more news about why your husband is accused of these crimes. They say police have been utilizing search and rescue teams, drones, and even canine units to track Turner down after they were unable to locate him. And they're saying here, Virginia State Police special agents sent to Turner's home while in transit. They learned that he was no longer at the location. Why give him a heads up that you were coming? It's almost like, hey, we're on our way. We don't want to interview you. You just take care of it. Run away with a rifle. It's almost like, why'd you give him a heads up? It's very odd. Kim says, I imagine she doesn't know. Possibly. What a great article, though. Big headline. She breaks her silence and there is no information. She basically said, go away to the Daily Mail. They saying, what else do they have to say? Yeah, and they say here that Leslie, that's her name, says, I don't know anything about that. When asked if the staffer in the probe, basically the charges, is about her husband, she says, I don't know anything about that. So there you go. Apparently she doesn't know. I feel like you could make another version of Scotty doesn't know and replace it with Leslie. Leslie doesn't know, apparently. What a waste of an article. They're like, yes, she told us to go away. Exclusive information. Terrible, terrible writing. I don't think they're gonna find him alive. I just don't think so. I have a funny feeling he knew what was coming and what would happen to him. What else do they say here? Anything new? She has a Facebook post. I want to see that. All right, let's have a look. I'm trying to see if we can track her down on Facebook. Hold on. I want to see if she has posted any more updates on Facebook for us to have a look at. That can't be her, right? I'm just trying to have a look. Is that her? That can't be her. Okay, that does look like her. This is her Facebook thing here. That looks like him. But all these posts are very, very old. Like she posts about the bowl game here, about the football game, 16th of November. So this is like 10 days ago. They said on her social media she posted something about her husband, but I don't see anything here unless she deleted it. There's nothing here about her husband. So, let's go up here. Have people been leaving her messages? Let's have a look. No, doesn't seem so. Don't know, but apparently they were saying that she was posting like supportive messages, but I don't see anything. Let me check one more thing and see if we can find it. Let's take out her middle name. Yeah, I don't see that message that they're saying that she posted at all. So maybe it got deleted or something. But she says here that they would keep praying. We love him and need him here with us. Hey, even if he comes home, he ain't going to be there with you because he's going to go to jail. And I don't know if you want him home after learning about what the charges are. Do you want him home? I find that interesting. Um, I don't know if you want him back in the home after learning what he's been up to with children. I find that very strange. Yeah, she posted, I just wanted to get on here for a second to clear up something. As of right now, 10:25 p.m. last Friday, Travis is missing. Well, he's missing with good reason, Leslie. I hope you now know what those charges are. I can't find anything about Yeah, I can't find anything new that she has posted. That's interesting. Look at this. I don't know if this is her, Leslie Turner, and then she says she needs a max sentence, and this was for a former teacher who abused a student. I hope that's not her because that makes her a very big hypocrite. I don't think that is her. Hold on. Nah, it's not her. It's a different Leslie Turner. Although that would have been a great bit of irony had that actually been her, but it's not her. Yes, the other one is yes, the other one I showed you is her. This one is not. This one is someone else. That is a different girl and a different age. But that would have been a great bit of irony. This one is her. This one. That's the husband right there. And that's her children. They must be having a not a very nice time right now with their what their dad did. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else on here. Yeah, I don't see anything else. She must have deleted it. She must have deleted it. Gail said, "Keep your kids safe, Leslie." That's right. Betsy said, "The night of his disappearing, his team, who was undefeated, won the game that night." in spite of their coach, by the sounds of it, in spite of their coach. Sorry, someone's messaging me. All right, there we go. There we go. By the way, I want to thank my friend who doesn't want to be named. Thank you for the donation. I want to thank Vicky K. Vicky K. Thank you for supporting the channel. I hope we'll see you in the chat again someday. She dropped in a few weeks ago, and it was really nice to see her in the chat. Yes, that is her. All right. All right. So you guys will see another show later on, and it'll have the trial updates for Jody Hill. So, like I said earlier, today in the trial, we got to hear from a fingerprint expert and a blood spatter expert, which is quite fascinating for the science part of it. Where is it? I'm trying to find your other message, my friend. Oh, here. Betsy said, do you think it's always been like this with people, or we just have access to these horrible things more due to social media?" Yeah, I think it's I think the way the news works now, things are not so isolated to the one place. Like back in the day, if something happened in Boone, Michigan, probably wouldn't hear about it in Australia. Probably wouldn't hear about it in, New York or Florida or something. It would stay very localized. Nowadays, with the need to fill the void 24/7 with something breaking, something new, some other crime, something to engage people, to make people click on an article, this sort of like always on 24/7 news thing is responsible for it. I think this kind of stuff probably happened back then. I also think the way we deal with it is slightly different now. Back in the day, they probably did charge people, but it was kept very quiet, and to give the family time to deal with what their partner had done or something like that. These days, very transparent, and for the most part, it gets online like that and is presented to the public. So, Gail said we get to know about it more, and people are sharing it over the internet. Definitely, like there's no way this coach that like this story about the coach, this would have just been a local story 20 years ago. It would have been in some podunk paper and no one would have ever heard about it. I promise. It's probably happened 40 times in the last 20, 30 years, but it would have been very local. And maybe if you lived in the county, maybe if you lived in the state, you would have heard about it. But, you know, now you have more true crime. And, true crime is like the fastest growing sort of news and media uh, genre in the world. It is the fastest growing medium, and the sort of need for always something new, a new story, new updates, that type of thing. It's definitely pushed it to the forefront. So crimes that, like I said, would have gone unnoticed 20 years ago are now like, making episodes on YouTube and stuff like that. Four Sons' mum said, in my old age, believe people treat each other with more hate than in pre-social media days. Possibly, or we come across more people. Betsy said, things like Bonnie and Clyde spread like fire. Some things make it national, definitely. Woman of Steel said 50 years ago, Boone, Michigan news, if it was something like that, too much for our genteel society, we would have heard nothing about this. That story about that pregnant girl is not even national. News Nation doesn't have a story on it. ABC doesn't have a story. NBC, none of the national papers are running it at the moment. It will when it is confirmed that it is her. and if someone hurt her, it'll go bang national. I guarantee it. In the next week or so, you'll hear a lot more about that young girl. Hold on, let me go back here, because right now it's very localized. Yeah, the Rebecca Park. So you watch in a week or so. This will be all over News Nation and stuff like that. The only national paper I can see that's got it is The Sun. So the US Sun newspaper, they have it. There's a photo of her, by the way. There's a photo of Rebecca Park. They're saying here, the woman's fiance desperately sought the public's help in an attempt to locate his pregnant fiance. Would be good to know, but why was she hopping into random cars though? That's what I'd like to know. Why was she hopping into random cars when she was so pregnant, like almost about to have birth to the baby? Why was she off hopping around into randos' cars? That's what I'd like to know. Gayla said clutching pearls back in the day. Something like that, right? Something like that. Yeah. All right. I can stay on with you guys until Mrs. Ping gets back. And then I'll have to go. But yeah, I want to thank my friend, the one who doesn't want to be named. Thank you for the donation earlier today. I want to thank Vicky K and Sean A. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know, I feel like a lot of people don't want to support the channel anymore because the shows are on so late at night. But if you're still watching and getting something out of it, updates and things like that, I would appreciate it. Even if you watch on the replay crew, you can always find the links underneath the video. And, you know, we try and keep it open and free for everyone. There's no Patreon. There's no members only. We just do it for everyone so everyone gets the same information. Werner still said nothing about SA got through the news. Well, it used to be a bit more taboo. It used to be a bit more like don't talk about it. But in the last 20 years, about telling kids and getting the education to young people to sort of don't hide it in the shadows type of thing, it's gotten better. Now we hear about it a lot more. All right, I think we've got one more story. Is it this one? Let's have a look. No, it's not that one. All right. Let's go to Kentucky. Let's go to Kentucky. Man dies after being thrown from second-story balcony. A couple from Elizabethtown have been charged over his death. How did they throw him over a balcony? So Sean Durbin and Nancy Durbin are the couple accused of throwing him out off a balcony.
Elizabethtown couple faces murder charges after police say threw a man over a second-floor balcony. Sean and Nancy Durbin are sitting in the Hardin County Jail tonight. They were initially charged with assault.
But when Bobby Pennington died, a grand jury upgraded the charges. Our Norman Seawright joins us now. And Norman, what questions are still unanswered?
Well, Rick, the biggest question right now is why? Elizabethtown police learned there was an altercation, but they still don't know what it was about. Lisa King lives at the Sugar Mill Apartments in Elizabethtown, and she has no idea why anyone would throw 62-year-old Bobby Pennington over this second-story balcony.
He used to ride his bicycle around the neighborhood. He would wave at everybody, and it's just a horrible thing to happen to him.
E-Town police say 36-year-old Nancy Durbin and 39-year-old Sean Durbin, both residents at the complex, threw him after some kind of altercation, although Nancy denied having anything to do with it.
There's absolutely no ownership. It speaks volumes to the character of them. Best reports we can come up with is that Mr. Pennington didn't bother anyone and was thrown off almost a 12-foot balcony and ended his life.
On November 13th, officers responded to a call about a man in cardiac arrest and found a woman giving Pennington CPR. She told them she saw the Durbins throw him.
It extends well beyond just irrational behavior, and there's certainly no.
Yeah, I agree. It extends far beyond irrational behavior. You threw a guy off a 12-foot like 12-foot height balcony. That is evil. Why? What for? Now he died. So originally he was in hospital in serious condition. He passed away while in hospital. So they took the charges to a grand jury. Grand jury indicted on those death charges, and now these two are behind bars. Hey, Peachy Keen, how are you? Good to see you. Are you here because of the Hakyung Lee? We did cover it earlier tonight. At the end of the show, you can rewind and revisit that topic if you'd like. But happy to have you here. I hope you subscribe. I would appreciate it. Yeah. So these two, Sean and Nancy. Why are they always Sean and Nancy? Apparently, they're always Sean and Nancy, and they're saying, yeah, he was thrown from that balcony. Do we have a photo of the victim? We don't. But we have a photo of Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Here's Tweedledee. And I'll get you a photo of Tweedledum. Here's Tweedledum. What's with the face she's making? What's with the face? You're like, the cops are like, hey, look ahead. Look above me at the point on the wall. And this is the face that she pulls for a mugshot. Like, what are you doing? If the wind changes, you'll look like that forever. Remember what your mum said to you? You'll look like that if the wind changes and you won't go back to normal. You got to be careful, woman. Here for the Rio Mari. Hey from Western North Carolina. North Carolina. We like our Carolina people. They look unhinged. They do a little bit, right? They look like they've been up smoking on the crystal. They look like they have been up on the crystals. This guy too. What's with this? Is he demonstrating how he threw the guy off the balcony? Like he's like, I grabbed him here and then I pushed him and threw him over the balcony. These are supposed to be mugshots. What are you doing making these weird sort of body actions in the photo? Both of them are bizarre. He's clutching his pearls. That's what he's doing. That's right. His invisible pearls. He's so shocked by his own crime. And then this one, this is his wife apparently, and she looks like something out of a movie or something. He's clutching his pearls. I don't know. He's probably hiding his crystal. He's probably like, I hid it here. It's in the collar of my shirt. Don't tell the cops. This is where I keep me crystals. That's probably what he's saying. I don't know what she's up to. She's almost like snarling at the camera. Anyway, as funny as it is to make fun of them, these two killed a man. I just wish we knew the name of him. Bobby Pennington. He was 62. These guys are in their late 30s. Bobby Pennington from Magnolia, Kentucky is his name. There is no photo for him, but there is an obituary here for him. They're saying here, Bobby Neal Pennington, age 62, of Elizabethtown, passed away Monday, November 17, at the University of Louisville Hospital. He was a very generous man, loved to ride his bike and give bikes to underprivileged children. Bobby was preceded in death by his parents, Bobby Sr. and Sarah Rout Pennington. He is survived by his sister, Cassandra, or Sandy, and she lives in Buchanan, Florida. He has two brothers, Tony and Dennis. They also live in Florida, and a nephew and niece, Sarah and Thomas. They're saying Bobby was cremated. No services have been scheduled for a funeral for Bobby. So there you go. Unfortunately, they had to cremate him, and there was no funeral held for him. That is very sad. Sounds like he lived a bit of a rough life, and even though he tried to do some good in the world by making bicycles for underprivileged children, it sounds like he had a pretty rough later part of his life. I'm just trying to find. I wish we had a photo of him. He has a lot of people who like him. A lot of people say Neil was a good guy. Another person said Mr. Bobby was a wonderful human and will be missed dearly. A lot of people who remember, they say Bobby was called Neil. So a lot of people saying he went by his middle name. So it's Bobby Neil Pennington, but his friends in the comments are saying he goes by Neil. All right, guys, 1 minute. All right, there you go. She's back. She's back, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone.
That's it. That's all you get. That's all you get. You get a hi, everyone, and that's it. It's cold in New York. You guys tell me, what are you guys going to do for Thanksgiving? Are you all traveling? Are you heading out of town to see people? Are you having family to your home? Let me know. I'd love to know what you guys are up to. We're going to be here. We're going to be here. And in Australia, where it is now quite warm and not cold for Thanksgiving, we have all the way from the USA a pumpkin pie that Ping is going to taste, and Mrs. Ping is going to try some too. I've never had pumpkin pie. Mrs. Ping's never had pumpkin pie. But for Thanksgiving, we're going to try some, aren't we? So you're looking forward to it? She said she's looking forward to it. So we are going to try that on Thanksgiving, and we're going to have it on the channel here on Thanksgiving while we talk about true crime. Dark or milk chocolate? I like milk chocolate. She likes white chocolate. Yeah, milk chocolate. We're not dark chocolate people. Yeah. Yeah, everyone says hi to you.
Depends on the dark chocolate. I mean, if it's not too bitter, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
But I know you're just not a fan, so we just don't tend to buy it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so there you go. She says that she likes milk chocolate and white chocolate. Hey, Justice Jane, how are you? Justice Jane says, Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Yes, happy Thanksgiving. Peachy Keen's going to have greens, beans, tomatoes, and potatoes. We have dressing, not stuffing down here. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for giving us a thumbs up. Rachel said, white chocolate is my favorite. Yeah, Mrs. Ping likes white chocolate. You know, I'll say, I feel like since we got out of the Aaron Patterson trial, people have forgotten about the channel or forgotten to give us thumbs up or interact with the channel. You know, we can't have Aaron Patterson every day. We did 4 months of it back in April, May, June, July, August, September, and then sentencing in September, and then we did the appeal in November. Can't do Aaron Patterson for an entire year. So, you know, we have to do other true crime too. Justice Jane said, I'm making sweet potato casserole. I've never ever had that. I don't know what that. Why do you put marshmallows in savory food? I don't understand. You guys have to tell me about this. I've asked at least 3 times today. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, like in between big giant trials, the channel still needs your support. You know, we can go to these trials, we can do all that, but in the down periods, we still need people to like the thing, share the channel, make it bigger, you know, stuff like that. So, like with next year, we have 2 big trials. We have Samantha Murphy, Patrick Oren Stevenson in Ballarat. We're heading to that very early next year, so we'll be there for I think it's another 2 month to 10-week trial, and then we have Isla Belle later in the year. So we've got Isla Belle's trial coming up. I think it's going to happen very late in 2026. So we've got two massive, very important, probably will be nationwide again, and yeah, so can't be in these big trials every single day. So sometimes we have to do other true crime. Woman still says milk, chocolate, or caramel, dark chocolate. Okay, you can't have dark chocolate. Sweet potatoes with brown sugar and marshmallows on top is the best. But why the marshmallows? Who came up with that? Did they just go, this is not tasty enough, we have to put marshmallows? I don't think the Native Americans brought marshmallows to the first Thanksgiving, did they? They weren't like, here is some things we can't manufacture in the 1700s, but here you go. We'll give them to the Americans and they will forever eat them on Thanksgiving. I don't think that's what happened, right? At least I didn't learn that at school. Just as Jane said, I'm making Reese cups. Okay, a Reese cup. We have Reese's here. Kim says, my husband and son like dark chocolate. My daughter and I like milk chocolate. Okay. Gail says, I need it, but not with savory. I don't know if I'd eat something that had marshmallows on sweet potato. It probably tastes pretty good though. It is the mini marshmallows, if that helps. I don't know if that helps or makes it better. It may not. It may not. What should we put on the pumpkin pie though? Do you have cream? Ice cream? Is there a way you serve it? Do you serve it hot? Do you serve it cold? Do you eat it out of the fridge? Is there a specific way that it's supposed to be eaten? Because us Australians would just stick a spoon in it out of the freezer and try and eat it. You know, we're very primitive down here. Whipped cream. Okay, whipped cream. You know, there is a company that sells Cool Whip near us, but they don't have any in stock right now. They don't have any right now. So it's candy corn. I don't know about candy corn. You have to eat it cold with fresh whipped cream. Okay, well, we can make whipped cream. We can do that. So it's not tomorrow for you guys, but tomorrow is Thursday here, which would be Thanksgiving. It's actually Friday here that is Thanksgiving for you guys, because it'll be Thursday for you. So still got a couple of days to go. Gail says can't get it here. Well, you can here. You can get it here. Here, Cool Whip. Yeah, they just don't have any right now. See, normally we can get it, Cool Whip, but they're sold out right now. They don't have any at the moment. It's expensive though. Look, $10. It's only like an 8-ounce tub. I think they have the light one. We can get light. That's what we can get. Oh no, it's sold out as well. There you go. There's a light one. But yeah, they don't have any right now. So you prefer whipped cream? Okay. We can make whipped cream. Whipped cream, don't judge pumpkin pie by this one. By the what did we get? We got a Mrs. Smith pumpkin pie. We've had a few pies. We had a brownie one from Marie Callender. We had a we've had a few. We've had a few. Yeah, it's not cheap, right? Actually, that's $5. The other one was $10. The other one was $10. Here. There you go. $10 for the 8-ounce tub of it. So yeah, American food not cheap in Australia. It's quite expensive, especially if it's refrigerated or frozen. It's not cheap. Peachy says pecan pie, Hershey bar pie, pumpkin pie, just no mince pie. Hey, mince pie is the best thing ever. You know, you can't say that to an Australian. Gayla says, when I lived in Germany, I stopped at the PX and bought all American stuff. Yeah, it's getting bigger here, especially with like Costco and things like that. If you go to Costco, they do have some American products, but it's not crazy big. Like there's not a ton of it. All right, I think we're almost done for the night. I think we're almost done. We're just about finished, I think. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow to have more fun with you guys. So we got to get people back on the channel to remember that we're here late at night. I know with Mrs. Ping and her recovery, it's been a little up and down, and we've missed a bunch of days and stuff like that. But hopefully, people will see that we're back to being every day again. Keep talking about food. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I love you guys. My viewers are the best people in the world, and think of all the episodes and things we've been through in the last like 3 years. We've gone to Tasmania. She's gone through like 2 months in hospital and a bunch of surgeries, and we've traveled places. We went to the Aaron Patterson trial. We've been to the Supreme Court. We've done a whole bunch of different fun things on this channel. And yeah, tell Trish to advertise. No, I don't think it's a great idea. A lot of the people that like, there's only a very small percentage of people that translate from her channel to this channel. Like a lot of people come over from Trish and don't like it, and they just disappear. So it's not the greatest idea, I don't think, anymore. I think we've captured the people that we want to already from that side. Yeah, we are, when I can get my butt in gear, we are going to do early shows again. I've just got to get less lazy and get started earlier in the day. Because my routine's been so off for a few months now, my mind has got to get started earlier in the day and get up to speed faster so we can do the early show. So yeah, I know some of you did. Yeah. All right. I love you all. Have a great day tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Wednesday for you. Have a great Wednesday. Get some sleep. I'll be back in the evening. And if you're winding down for Thanksgiving, enjoy your time off. And yeah, visit family, plan fun things to do. Enjoy the downtime. We don't get very many public holidays to end the year. So enjoy it. Try not to go to Costco on Wednesday night, because you will get trampled by an old lady looking to grab the last bottle of Crisco oil. She will kill you for it, I promise. People have been killed for Crisco oil in Costco on Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. Don't do it. They'll get you. So be careful out there. And yeah, we'll have some fun on Thanksgiving this year. We'll talk true crime, but we'll also taste some American foods from Thanksgiving. I think it'll be a lot of fun. All right. Hey, Peachy, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a new person in the chat. I appreciate all of you. All right. Good night. Bye.